Where are you? Okay. Hello everyone, if you're listening to the YouTube video, we're just waiting for the Penrith game to finish, which has a minute and a half left, and then we'll get into the video, starting stream a bit early on this one. So yeah, just look in the comments or fast forward this a bit and you'll know when to basically get to the start of the wrap up for round 11. Watching the Penrith game live now. St. George a bit hard done by. It hurts, but it is what it is. Ooh. But let me put in the Discord actually that we're going live. At everyone live now. Cleary try assist and line break assist at the end. What a weird old weekend is right, Mr. Jaggy. Let me just chuck my aircon on and we'll get into the wrap up. How did you go, Jake? Game's over. Cleary kicked to come. And Penrith going into the Origin period clear favourites. Hopefully he makes a kick for us captainers out there. Wait, that's very good, Jesse, for this week. 1,400 and something is going to be very good, I think. And Cleary pops it over for a 28-6 finish. All right, let's get in it. Let's get into it. Oh, what happened there? All right, levels are all good. Check. We've got the chat popped up. Perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Rage Traders NRL Supercoach podcast, round 11. It's finished, it's done, and what a wacky, wild weekend for Magic Round. Some very low scores out there. I think a lot of people, there are going to be some that have really atrocious scores, and then random people out there that maybe went for the Herbie Farnworth VC, that went for a Herbie Farnworth captain, those random high scores. But all in all, the week was just very, very weird. Supercoach related, in my opinion, also just rugby league related, just a lot of massive blowouts, only like 2 close games. It was really just, for me personally, I didn't really enjoy the watching experience this weekend, besides watching my Cowboys get a very great win against the Roosters. But again, you know, a bit of rain. The 6 again rule changes a lot of things, and this is why the blowouts are happening. But let's go over my team. So as if you didn't know, I traded in Oliver Pasco. He was absolutely amazing. We'll get into him a bit later, but that was for Brandon Smith. The reason why I did that was because I have Reece Robson as my main hooker. So I really needed a backup there because Robson will no doubtedly be in the Blues team, which I think the Blues team comes out tonight, chat. Is that correct? Or is it the Queensland team that comes out tonight? I'm pretty sure it's the Blues team. Again, super happy with that because he'll come in next week. He did have a bit of an injury scare, but he still went on and played the game. So he's going to come in next week for me. And then I did bring in Marju, who only got a 55 this week, but this guy's going to make so much cash that I just think he has to be in everyone's team, even though he's not going to be there for the round 12 bye. It's just something where I think you're missing out on a lot of free cash if you didn't go to him. So that's why I went him this week from Latrell Mitchell, who had a bit of a shocker, the injury scare. The news comes out that he's not going to be in the Origin team for the first Blues match against Queensland. Now, if you are listening on audio, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Either one of those or all of those would be greatly appreciated. Glad to see all of you people in here as well. This is live for the audio listeners. Sorry if you didn't know. But let's get into the wrap up, eh? So every game this week, if you didn't know, was played in Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Actually, what did I finish on? I don't think it was too flash hot. So I finished on 1261 with Cleary captain and obviously a bit of updates to come. One thing I am really happy with this week is my hold on Setutu. I was pretty adamant to hold him. One, because he plays round 12. St. George have a really good bye schedule. Two, I just thought he isn't as bad as everyone thinks. I think a lot of people maybe tried to go Setutu to Greg Marju or something like that. So at the moment, I still have Setutu, Makasini, and Sua in my team. And out of those three, clearly Sua is an immediate, could be dropped in the Bulldogs team, which could be scary, and Makasini due back soon. So we'll see how we go with that. And yeah, just some really unusual scores that I didn't expect this week, but let's get into it. Alrighty. Sharks versus the Bulldogs. The woes for the Bulldogs continue. Sharks win this 38-16. Sometimes you don't know which Sharks team turns up, but for that night, for Friday night, it was the dominant Sharks team. Nico Hines, 116 points, absolutely massive. Big watch for me. Now, Ronaldo Mulitalo gets an 80. Clearly made this team a better team. That was his first game back from an ACL. Now, the thing is, what we need to understand is Sharks will not play in the round 12 bye. They then will play against Manly, St. George, New Zealand, Sydney Roosters away, and the New Zealand game is away. And then they have the bye in round 17, but they play 15 and 18 which is the major buys, the last two major buys. So I really want to look at Ronaldo Mulitalo. I think he is going to be a bit of a pod pick, in my opinion. And I'm wondering even if you try and just get him in round 13 and just get him in your team. That's where my head's going at the moment. I really like the look of him. I know he can produce some low scores, but when Sharks are clicking, which they easily could through these games, I think I might want to be a part of those scores. With McInnes injury, Jesse Colquhoun gets a 75. So if you've held him this whole time, that is really, really nice to see. Trindle, 69. He got the first try this game for memory. So you're happy with a 69 from him. But in 38 points, you really do think that should be a bit higher. Big talking point here is KL Iro. I said to some people last week, I was very, very surprised by people wanting to trade in KL Iro this week. I still don't, even though I hold him and I've had him through this whole period since the start of the whole season, I'm actually thinking, can I rely on him enough compared to like a Herbie Farnworth. It's a really tough hold just watching him every week and not knowing what you're going to get. So that's something I'm going to look at. Is someone like an Osako or a Bostock just more reliable than a KL Iro? That could be something I sort of deep dive into a bit later. Again, I think there is a new AFB we're seeing in the last 2 rounds. Now, whether that is because of Origin coming up and he's trying to make a plea to be in the team, I don't know. He looked really good this game. He only gets a 60 here, mind you, super coach wise, but just in general from an eye point of view, he looks like a much, much better player. Brenton Nickera, he's super cheap. He only gets a 40 this game with a 33 break even. This guy's worth $328,300. However, he is said to be a chance for Origin, so just be wary of that, and we'll have to wait and see. For the Bulldogs, Preston gets an 84, so if you're a Preston owner, that's really nice to see. He has an Origin chance. Crichton a 77, nice to see. Burton a 71, and Ari Tuwala 70, Galvin 68. So some nice-ish scores from the Bulldogs, but at the end of the day, their defense is just lacking so much. Again, Satili Tupanua, he's been someone that's been quite good for people that go there or went there. But I still, I think someone like Satili Tupanua over this Origin period could be really nice. The problem is Bulldogs, from memory, don't play 15 and 18. They only play round 12. And that's why I didn't go Leo Thompson last week. And I'm happy I didn't, because he only got a 50 this game. I'm pretty happy not having him, and I want to target someone more like Terrell May and Joe Tarpanay. But even then, I think Tarpanay is just going to be the main guy I sort of target. And then nothing else to really talk about from the Bulldogs, who are just in horrendous form at the moment. I really do think they need a more of a sparky fullback, and I'm not blaming Connor Tracy, but it just seems in the attack he can't provide what some other fullbacks do in the NRL. Like, obviously, we can't compare him to a Reece Walsh or Tedesco, but even so, like, he just doesn't have that spark that a fullback would have to create something out of nothing, in my opinion. But this team's completely shot. It's really, really worrying, and there was chats that Sam Verrills might be coming to their team, so pay attention to that. He was sitting down with Phil Good in some photos seen. Next game, Rabbitohs versus the Dolphins. Now, the great thing here is we are finally seeing the Dolphins click. They completely annihilate the Rabbitohs 32-10. The biggest news out of this one, in my opinion, is Latrell Mitchell just looked very off this game. You could tell the injury was bothering him. He came off like 5 to 8 minutes early, or 5 to 10 minutes early, and now it has been said that he's not in the Origin team due to that injury. So that's massive news there. If you haven't got rid of him, now you must get rid of him, obviously, with Origin and the injury. But I did get rid of him last week. Happy with that. Tallis Duncan came out very nice for me this game, 83. He's going to be someone I'm so happy to hold on through this Origin period. He was on the left edge, which was really, really nice. Just provided exactly what I wanted to see. And also, nice little pod play you could go for is Ewan Aitken now. $538,700, 54 break even, and got a 98 this game. Yes, he did get a try this game, but still, he's looking very, very good. Colin Matangi, 70. Nice to see. He could be Origin bound. Nothing else I would really look at touching. Cody Walker, a 43 this game, and looked pretty heated at sometimes and upset with himself. Supercoach wise, though, nothing else to talk about because Cam Murray is going into the Origin as well. Are there any beneficiaries from that, though? Maybe we could talk about someone like a Kepi or a Hubner, but again, I wouldn't lean into that as much as I would with others because of there's just more security around the other players, and you're not going to have to trade them out. All right, Herbie Farnworth, 140 points. I think what happened this game was, for memory, let me see if I can get this right. Well, first of all, the left edge was just working. So as soon as they figured that out, they were just like, okay, let's keep attacking left. And Herbie was the recipient of that. 140 massive super coach points. If you vice captained him, or if you captained him, congratulations. That is a massive shout. Well done. Bostock, very good this game. I think he's someone who I'm definitely looking at getting in next week. -17 break even. getting an 85 here. That's really, really nice, and actually scored against Latrell, which is what I was kind of worried about in terms of Latrell just holding his score back a bit, but I was wrong. A pod of mine that I spoke about, Max Plath, he's been going very good lately, but the problem is he'll likely be in the Queensland Origin team. Cobbo, he's playing some of his best footy of the all season now, 74. There could be some games now where Dolphins approach that 40 to 50 point mark, and I don't want to miss out on that. To be honest with you, I don't think them losing Hammer is a huge loss. They're a very good, tight-knit team, and they can pile on the points if they continue to play like this, and we know that they have one of the best bye schedules with Canberra Raiders. Nikorima, he did okay in this game, a 45, nothing too flash. Finafiliaki, only a 59 in this, so he's kind of dropped off a bit, and he should be Origin-bound. Flegler, nothing here with a 25 for people that have owned him. Katoa's been okay. I think Katoa's been much better on the field than what he represents in Supercoach points. Only a 42 here. Asako, only a 56 here. So for people that bought him, a 56 with 32 points. That's pretty rough to see in my opinion. But again, we are preparing for the buys, and him and Bostock could be a play for you. Lemu Elu, he looked really good this game. He's someone else we should talk about. A 75 break even, only getting a 64 here. Still looked quite good. The base is there. He's a nice player, and I just think that he could be a bit of a pod pick if you wanted to look at getting Lemu Elu. Nothing else much to talk about here for the game. Congratulations to the Dolphins on having a very strong game against the Rabbitohs. Tigers versus Seagulls, 46 to 18. The Eagles come out and wallop the Tigers. This is where a lot of points were made. Let's talk about the main man first. Hamoli Olakau'atu, if you've had him for the last 4 or 5 rounds, you're very, very happy. Gets a whopping 130. I dare say he will be in the starting team for the New South Wales Origin team. I'll be very surprised if he isn't. Someone who I also spoke about last week was Ruben Garrick. He gets an 88 this game. Nice to ski, but with 46 points. Still kind of weird scoring here, like Hopewadi only 73. I think the biggest talking point for me is being Kula. As soon as he got given that fullback role, I just got really scared not to have him. And I'm kind of thinking I've dodged a bit of a bullet here. Not to say the 74 is a bad score whatsoever, but I just think there could be better out there. But again, Eagles playing in really, really good form. They're playing next week at Pines Park versus Gold Coast Titans, so that is very nice to see. So someone like Kula or Hopewadi, they could really pipe up for a big score. But Titans have been playing pretty good footy in their last 2 rounds, to be honest with you. Like, if you don't look at the score and you watch the game, they're playing actually really good footy, and were very unfortunate in both those games, to be honest with you. Terrell May. Let's talk about Terrell May. Now, I think I was going to go Terrell May this week, but with 116 break even, with them having the bye next week, I think Terrell May could be a big shout for me to try and get in round 13, because they have no buys. They have no buys during this Origin period. If he doesn't get picked in the Origin, I think he's someone who I'm really going to look at. He could even be someone I just look at over Tarpanay. The problem is I'm only sort of weighing up is how injured they are. That's the only thing. Like, is that going to affect his score a lot? Like, I know he's going to be tackling more, but still on top of that, I'm just like, I don't know how much that's going to hurt him. So if we look at their draw, the West Tigers, they have the bye in round 12. They then come into the Bulldogs at home, Penrith at home, which all the Penrith players will be back then, if any get rested in round 13. Then they have Gold Coast in 15. They have Dolphins in 16, both of those at home. Newcastle away, St. George away, and then New Zealand at home, Bulldogs away, Canberra away, Parramatta at home. Then they have a bye in round 23. So their actual bye coverage is insane. The only thing is they have so many injuries, which is really, really tough to kind of work around, because when we talk about someone like a Kai Pearce-Paul, who gets a try this game right at the end, gets an 80, someone who you could possibly re-look at if you got rid of him or never had him. Patrick Herbert, he gets a 82 this game. That's really nice to see for a cheapie that's at 53 break even at $276,000. So again, we have some little plays here. Taylor May, 47 here. Nothing too much crash hot here. Jerome Luai, for those who went him, a few weeks back or 4 weeks back when he was the craze for everyone to get in. Yeah, it's going to be really rough for you, I think, in the next coming weeks, because they might just start getting belted because of their injuries, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, nothing much else here to talk about for the Tigers. Going back to the Eagles, I don't think I'm going to mention anyone from the bottom. Luke Brooks, he's been getting some nice super coach scores, but I couldn't trust him. Paseka with a 79 is absolutely massive. Shout outs to Paseka. He's playing some really good footy. Clayton Fa'alo'o, he got, I think, the first 2 tries this game. That could be wrong, but he's doing really well in his position for the Eagles. 524,000 with a 62 break even. He could be a little bit of a pod that you look at as well if you wanted to go there. The game of the week, in my opinion, game of the week, here it is. My Cowboys versus the Roosters. Not only did we get sin bin twice, not only was the second sin bin a joke, not only was the penalty count in the Roosters' favor heavily, we showed determination and grit. Now, the problem is Drinkwater only a 55 here, Chester a 54, Lukey a 54. You know what? Drinkwater was half an inch away from scoring. He lost the ball over the line. If he scored that, I would have been the happy man. And I said, look, Bob's your uncle. I'll take that score. Go to the next. Purdue only a 41. There's going to be a lot of outs here for us Cowboys players. Dearden's injured. Purdue might be out. We're going to lose Ruben Cotter. Is there anyone else that might be out of the team? Am I blind? Yeah, I would say that's it. Maybe if Murray Talagi's back, but I don't think he is. So the reason I'm saying this, and possibly Helam Lukey, the reason I'm saying this is because, and on top of that, sorry, Clifford is now a shout to possibly be in the Origin team after him destroying Sam Walker in terms of just performance. I'm sure Billy Slater's looking at it. Yeah, maybe even Chester could be on the bench for Origin. Now, the reason why I bring this up is maybe this makes Drinkwater a sell next week. My flex would be completely open. Maybe I get like someone and then lean into a Terrell May the week after, because Drinkwater will not be able to do much with the team that is at hand. That's something I'm thinking of. And his his games after round 14 are really rough and weird with some buys there. So maybe I just have to do a bit of a corrective trade there. But going to the Roosters, let's talk about James Tedesco. Now, someone in the Discord, Captain Tedesco, for a filthy 21. I don't know how Tedesco has scored 21 points against the Cowboys without Dearden and without Tamalolo. Roosters had mostly their worst game of the season, in my opinion, just in terms of errors and in terms of just looking completely off. But yeah, if you had Teddy captain, unfortunately, sorry to hear it, but it's how the super coach cookie crumbles, and it is what it is. Watson tops with 94. He was pretty good this game, obviously, but just had some really nice kicks and stuff like that. Made some really good decisions, but I wouldn't be looking into him. Sam Walker still got 82 this game. Nice to see. Crichton with the 71. He stays around that 60 to 70 usually each week. Cody Ramsey got the first try scorer and gets a 66 here. So if you are an owner of him, you're happy with that. Sua Wong only a 59 this game, where I thought this could be one of the games he could really step up in and overtake. And same as Robert Toya. I literally needed only Robert Toya to score for my multi. I had Cowboys 1 to 12. I had Jake Clifford to score more than 6 points. And then I had someone else to score who I got as well. I had Cody Ramsey to score. That was it. So yeah, that was rough. But yeah, as I said, Roosters, like DCE was literally a ghost this game. Like, he did absolutely nothing. I'm wondering if that impacts the Billy Slater decision. Tupou went off with an injury early in this game, so that really affected the team, because what happened was Tupou went off, then pardon me, Pauga came on and he looked awful, and all we started doing was kicking it towards him, doing bombs towards him, and he just was awful. So then they brought off Pauga, I think, and had to bring him back on because someone else got injured from memory. So yeah, it was just a really rough game for the Roosters. Cowboys getting this one 18-12. Liam Sutton came on first game debut, 52. I think it was a debut. I'm pretty sure it was. He looked pretty good. Someone who you could maybe possibly look at in your 5/8 if you still have Pezzett. $201,400. Now that Tom Dearden's gone, he could actually be someone we look at. Just a basement guy, will make some cash from Pezzett as well. But I think personally, if I'm going to move my... well, this is the thing. I have Purdue, I have Pezzett. Now, next week, if Purdue is named into Origin, well, do I just take the hit there? Then the following week, get Sharp in, who looked much better today in the center role. Newcastle are scoring points and go with that. I lean towards that over just banking down cash, because then essentially Fletcher Sharp might just become my main 5/8 for the rest of the season. So that's something I'd be looking at doing. Reed Marnie, a flat 50 this game. That's kind of what he does. And again, nothing to talk about. Braden Burns was really good this game as well. But don't expect that every week. 34-8. Storm versus the Eels. Was close at the start. Just like the Panthers-Dragons game, blew out towards the end. Cameron Munster finally hits his massive form, which is just before Origin, which is great for the Queensland followers and unfortunate for the Blues followers, because this will be a good morale boost for him. 127 Supercoach points is absolutely massive. Harry Grant gets a 96 with a try. That's great to see. Cooper Clark, he's been huge. 81. Really good this game. He's been someone that's just been plugging away, getting some average scores, then getting a massive one here. Really good to see. Lasardi is 64 in this. Expected that to be a bit higher, but it is what it is. Hughes is 67. That's okay, but still for a score like this, I would expect him to have a bit of a higher score. There were talks about Jack Howarth being in the Origin or being already in, so I don't know if that was real or fake news or not, but look out for that. Moses Leo, a 59. So for those of you that held him, congratulations. He finally gave you a bit more reward. Suafa logo, only a 49 in this one. Did he play the full 80 minutes, chat? Does anyone know? I'm sure he did, right? 105 break even, gets a 49, but he's still going to be someone I hold in my team over this period. Will Warbrick, 39, very average for a game like this, in my opinion. Joe Chan, a measly 11, so that's gone down and absolutely kind of tanked from what he was at the start of the season, where everyone was getting him in out their teams. Talking about the Eels, Josh Papali'i, 56, great to see, but the fantasy scoring is so low for the Eels here. Top score is 56, so that's wild. Pryke, for me, gets a 36. Yeah, just so weird, eh? Like, Jack Williams, only a 46. He's usually a 60 to 65 guy. Sean Russell got the first try, still only gets a 56. Talon De Silva, a 43 here. Riley Smith not in the team, so like, yeah, there's just a lot of low scores here. Farlogo played 80. Wow, so a very low score for him. Unfortunate. It is what it is. It happens. But yeah, look, as I said to you before, I won't be touching anything from the Parramatta Eels besides the kind of nuff I went down to in Pryke. Titans versus Knights, 36-12 to the Knights. Let me tell you, the Titans, when you look at the scoreboard, you think, here it goes, another smashing. But really, if you watch the game, this was way closer than what the scoreboard suggests. Oliver Pascoe, I think they've just now found their 80-minute hooker. This guy, it was by far the best on the field with Jaden Campbell. He is just an absolute beast. He set up a try. He scored a try himself. He's just really good. He is an absolute beast. If you don't have him in, I think if you're struggling in the hooker position, he's a must-have. If you've got your hooker position covered, just watch him do his thing and just hope it's not too bad. But he will make quite a bit of cash. And the good thing is he's getting good points. A 99 here for a hooker. Top scoring in the Titans with only 12 points. That's really good to see. Morin had a good game, an 80 with a try. Tino, he's back to his ways. It's just unfortunate about it being in the Origin period. Jaden Campbell, still a 62, but has good coverage through the Origin period. If you're looking for a halfback you could possibly go to. Kinney looks elite on the field. Does so much work on the field. It just doesn't relate to Supercoach points yet. It will happen towards the end of the season, I would say. Fermor, someone who I was looking at, 52 only here. Wish that was a bit higher. Again, it was still a back and forth game at the start of the game, so I expect some of these base high guys to be a bit higher, but it is what it is. And then talking about the Knights, Dane Gagai, 123. He fires off. Dominic Young, 2 tries, 100 points. Fletcher Sharp, 91. So he's someone who I'm massively eyeing off in 2 rounds' time. 45 break even. He's going to be a bit higher in cash, but a 91, he's going to boost it up. Pardon me, let me have some water. But yeah, this is the Fletcher Sharp we were looking for. He was in left center this game and just literally breezed by a lot of people and scored those 2 tries. He really put the burners on. The agility looked there, and I think in 2 rounds' time, it's the time you get him if you are looking at getting him. Dylan Lucas, only a 66 this game, came off with like a rib injury or a stomach injury. Can't remember if he came back on, so just monitor that if you're an owner or were looking at getting him. Kalen Ponga, only a 64 this game in 36 points and goal kicking. That is really, really rough. For those of you that either captained him, that brought him in this week to hope for a big score, you know, now he's basically shoot in as the 5/8 for the Origin team or in that halves position. I think it's going to be really rough to own him, but be patient. You know he's a skillful player. He could easily back up against the Parramatta Eels, and you're laughing all the way to the bank. Greg Marju, 55 with a try. That try was an intercept try where he ran about 80 meters. Still, I'm glad to have him just because he's going to make so much cash. Is he someone I'm going to have all season? I personally don't think he's a season keeper. He relies so much on tries. I like the people like Herbie that are base bearers that can just do something out of nothing. But for getting him now, I'm happy. I wanted to match the field with everyone, and I'm happy I got him in. Dylan Brown, only a 49 here. Still ran the ball a lot this game, but just nothing else bar that. McEwen, I would say this is one of the best games he's had all season, but still only a 56 in Supercoach points. And nothing much else here to talk about. Fletcher Hunt, if you have Fletcher Hunt in your team, he gets a 1 this game. So with 132 break even, that is going to drop your price heavily. Nothing else here to speak about. Let's go to the next one. The Warriors versus the Broncos. For my Warriors fans up there, up the wires. Now down the wires because major injury news here. So I play NRL fantasy as well. I'm just in a head-to-head league, and I go to look at my team. I've got Tanner Boyd in there. I've had him for the last 6 weeks, and he's on 5. And I'm like, guys, why is Tanner Boyd on 5? And they say suspected ACL. Why do these injuries happen to the people that are doing miraculous things in a season where they're playing at their best form ever? It just absolutely sucks. I feel so sorry for him. You could see it when he was sitting on the bench. He was just dejected. It was really, really rough to see. But I will say this. Ironically, the Metcalf moves away from the Warriors. He's going to St. George. Then Tanner Boyd gets injured. But I think this opens up a massive chance for a person I've been absolutely huge on the last 2 seasons. Whether that converts to super coach points, whether that's something massive is, I don't know. But I absolutely have been a massive fan of TMM, Tamari Martin. This guy was just a beast. Now, on top of that, he's was this his first game of the season? Can anyone check this up for me? I'm pretty sure it is. So if it's his first game of the season, you've got 2 rounds to get him in. I really like him as a pick. I really like him as a player. He's in a team that are cohesive. They're going to lose maybe a bit of front row action, but they still have James Fisher-Harris there. They still have so much grit and forward capacity that I think it's going to be great to get him in. It was his first game. He broke his leg in the trials, didn't he? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. But he was never getting in the team anyway because of how good Tanner Boyd has been playing. But I think this is his time to shine. I've had him had him last season where he did wonders for me. Also, Aaron Clark now is going to be on a lot of people's radar. I spoke about him a lot because of Jackson Ford going to possibly Origin. Then you got Mitch Barnett going to Origin. There's a lot. I think it's going to revert back to JFH and Aaron Clark. DWZ with 107 this game. That's huge. One, when the tries flow for him and the team's rolling, he's going to score big. Aaron Clark, 85 with a try. Wade Egan, 81. Had a bit of a head knock this game, so monitor that, but should be fine. But the rest are 60-ish and under. Jackson Ford, 56 with coming off the interchange, so you'll live with that. I mean, he's just too good not to have in your team, but we'll still have to monitor that. And Chanel Harris Tavita, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I didn't get to watch all of this game. Because of the Tanner Boy injury, did Chanel Harris Tavita then come onto the field? Is that correct? Let me know if that's wrong. But he then did the goal kicking for Warriors. So that is also another massive shout. $518,700 on an 18 score. Let me know about that because as I said, I didn't get to watch all of the game, but what I did notice was he was goal kicking towards the end and looked really good. So that's something we need to monitor as well. How did Cam Pereira get -1? Did he play 80? I must check this out. Please don't tell me he played 80 minutes. There is no way he played 70 minutes and got -1. 12 runs, 85 meters, 1 tackle break. What did he get? Oh, he got sin binned. Wow. 1 missed tackle. Okay. Binned and errors. Yeah, wow. Okay. Interesting. I feel sorry for those sin bins though, because that's something I did see. You know when you swing your arm and then it hits the ball and your arm then goes up off the ball and hits them in kind of like the throatish area? That's exactly what happened in that tackle. So it's just one of those things where, yes, it's a swinging arm, but he hits the ball first and it flies up just because the ball is there. So it was a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Carrigan, he's been in my team since the start of the season. He got sin binned and still top scores with a 67 with Jordan Ricky, who also got a 67. Xavier Willison in the prop position, he gets a 66 this game. He's still going to lose a tiny bit of money, but that's the position you want to see him in. But Broncos looked pretty bad this game, 42-12, and every time they'd score, their defense would just allow Warriors to score pretty quickly. Ben Tolte also gets injured this game. That could boost Xavier Willison up. That could boost even Jordan Ricky up even more. So look out to see maybe who's going to come in place of them, especially with Payne Haas out. VJ Semu, $201,000. FRF, 46 points this game. Maybe look into that if you want to go a bit of a, not enough, but a basement price FRF that can score some points. Shibasaki, he's still just in average form. I think he might get dropped soon, to be honest with you. But they just have so many injuries, and it's going to get even tougher with them. Reece Walsh scoring 39, and he will likely be in the Origin team, if not a 99% chance. So that sucks. I thought Coates looked really good this game. Philip Coates, someone you can also look at. He looked to sync really well with Reece Walsh. The problem is Reece Walsh may not be there and likely won't be there, so that synergy might go away. But again, it looked really, really good. Semu looked injured. Okay, thank you for letting me know. So maybe we wouldn't look there then. As I said, I didn't get to watch all of this game. Maybe someone like an Allblix Tawa will get some more minutes now. So just be aware of these things because there are openings coming up for the Broncos. Okay. I usually don't talk about calls. I usually don't call about I'm not going to swear. Poor refereeing. Chat, let me know what you think now. Damien Cook, at the final second of going into the halftime, he decides to do a chip kick. The ball does a weird bounce. Brian Toto misses it. He goes to plant the ball and grab the ball off the ground. And at the same time, if not even a tiny bit earlier, in my opinion, Cook kicks the ball and then it goes to the try line and he scores. Was this and should have this been a try? In my opinion, just a joke. It should have been a try for sure. It's just, yeah. If you can't like write the story any worse than what it is, that moment just absolutely titles the Dragons season. Like going from 12-0 down to 12-6 at halftime at the buzzer is such a huge momentum swing. And for that to get taken away in such a weird way, there was also another try this weekend. It's just really, really weird. No. It wasn't another try. What was the game this weekend? I swear it was today. I think it was the Broncos Warriors game. Yes, it was. Broncos made a break. They split the whole defense open. And I'm pretty sure this was the Broncos game. And then the defender held onto the guy's leg and they gave a penalty in no sin bin. Now, every other week, this would have been a penalty for slowing the play down. It's a professional foul because you're letting the defense get back after a complete line break that went on for like 20, 30 meters. So I was really like shocked that wasn't a sin bin. And then that led to, I think, Warriors scoring. I think that was the Warriors game. I think. But yeah, no way he had possession. I'm a Panthers fan. Try and I go for Penrith. Yeah. Okay, fair. So yeah, unfortunate there. But yeah, let's talk about the actual Supercoach stats. Jenkins, 2 tries this game, 109 points. So if you've kept holding him, that's great. He could be someone you may be looking getting rid of now that Cleary might have a bit of a spell over this period and playing with Origin and buys. Papali'i, 97 with a 60 break even. He looked really, really good this game. I'm pretty sure he got a try as well. McLean, 82. Cleary finished off with a 78. Thank the Lord for the last minute try assist and line break assist because his score was about 56. So he was my captain. I'll live with that. Dylan Edwards, a 74. To'o, 67 with a try. Yo, a 67. So if you've held him throughout all this period, I think it's been a great hold. Something I didn't do, I moved Yo to Twal, but still, he's been great. But yeah, nothing else to talk about here for the Panthers. Blaze Talagi, this is why I'll never go him. In a game like this, he just gets a mediocre 49. I just can't trust him. Garner, a 56 with a try right at the end as well. So he's still been a bit of a foul trade, in my opinion, for those that went there. Wow, Toby Couchman, 93. Okay. Toby Couchman could be someone I really look to get in now. 79 break even. He's going to go up a bit in cash. This is what I wanted to see. I spoke about him being a trade in for people. Great buy coverage. I think he's someone who I'm going to bring in for Paddy Carrigan next week now that I've seen this, because I wanted to see how he went in with Dylan Egan and the Couchman and Stewart. And it looks like it's just going to be really good to have him. So Toby Couchman, I think you'll see a lot of people bring him in next week. I could be wrong, but yeah, I really like what I see there from that score. Hamish Stewart, 64. Setutu, if you still have him like I do, 60 this game. He's going to make more money with a 29 break even, and they verse the Warriors next week at St. George's home. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. He'll be slotted in for my major buy around there. He won't be going anywhere. Leilua only a 29 this game, 101 break even. He's going to lose a bunch of cash. Maybe he played minutes here. I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll have to wait and look into that. Damien Cook was really good this game. He's 250th. He was playing like he just had a medal to win. But yeah, it's just unfortunate because he gives 100% every time. And it just doesn't work out. Valentine Holmes, a bit of a bounce back, finally, 69. But, going into Origin, we'll see if he even gets picked. He's been in pretty mediocre form, so that's something we have to wait and see. But yeah, that is it. That is your round 11 wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that video, that little podcast. If you have any questions right now, throw them in. For those listening on audio podcasts, thank you so much for listening. 5-star review. It's really, really appreciated. And I'll catch you on the next one. Wolfie here from the Rage Traders. We're going to do a bit of a pod on the Origin team list as well and our predictions for the Origin. So get ready for that to come out soon. All right, lads, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Where's my there it is. Do. If we don't have it, I'm a Panther fan too. Yeah. Let me just read some comments here. CHT played 80. Wait, what? Did he? For 18? No way. There's no way. Wait, maybe you're right. He had 11 kicks. Oh my gosh, you're right. He had 4 points in kicks. That's maybe it's definitely a Fletcher Sharp angle for me. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all for being here. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll be waiting for Origin lists to come out and go from there. But yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate your support as always. And again, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Wolfie here from the Rage Traders.